Hello, good morning. I didn't expect to be recording this, but I feel like there is an intuitive ping to go ahead and record some of this. And so I feel like this is an installment of, Diaries of a grid worker, Diaries of a woman in soul process. Whew. So I announced a few weeks ago that I'm going to be concluding the Sacred Remembering podcast. And this is happening at a time, it surprises me, quite frankly, and I'm going to be talking about this on probably the next episode of the podcast, 134, as it comes out next week, but I haven't recorded that yet. I think, this is me showing up in process, and as we speak, we alchemize, right? A dear friend of mine, Kelly Al, I hope I'm saying that last name correctly, Kelly, is painting for me, and I'm going to share it to my stories. She's painting a transmission, a heartland transmission for me. And heartland is really about coming out of the depletion dominator energetics and into a regenerative feminine prosperity. It's a whole new frequency. And so I have been living this journey and this transmission, probably all my life, but for the last 2 years. And it's been very, very significant and life-changing. And I'll just say this, there's an energetic that helped to birth a lot of my previous work, like the first iterations of what came out of embodied breath and sacred remembering. That was a energetic that was, I guess, false generator. It's not authentic to me, around like what I had to do in order to receive and what I had to do in order to earn and be loved. And so while there's such a sacred mission of sacred remembering, it's also a part of what is sacred about it that my learning would reveal to me that it was built, partially in a false energetic around like not even believing that I would receive. There's that. Like, I'll put all this energy out there and I won't even be like loved or received. And that is such an imprint of the feminine, that I've been clearing from me, from my lineage, this depletion energetic of like, I will continue to give and to love and to show up and not be like reciprocated for that. And I have been talking about that and teaching that and really living that, and not always in a way that I want to like put my face on the internet and be like, I have it all figured out, because I don't. Like, I have withstood, things like depletion or financial depletion because I have passed up. I just did it yesterday. There was like the recognition. This is I've been learning a lot about human design and being a projector, and the recognition is really important because the recognition leads to invitations. And so I was recognized, I was invited, and then come to find out the space that I was invited into to talk to, CEOs about gender equity, like something I very much want to do to turn these tides, help turn these tides. Can't do it all on my own, don't want to. But anyway, the exchange was horrible. It was like, basically wanting me to, give my energy like for like basically nothing and go into a deficit in the hopes that, it would lead to more contract work. And I was like, I don't do this, and this is, a false energetic of, taking advantage of energy, in this case, women's energy, right? To benefit something, but then like, I'm just hoping that I will be reciprocated. I'm hoping, right? And I'm like, I don't really play that game anymore. And yet that game is still washing out of me. And, like the investments of my heart I like the sun and what the sun is doing. It like kind of goes with these like crow lines. It just like fixes it right up. Okay, stay focused, Sarah. So I have more points to make. So I've been working on the energetics of, right exchange and feminine frequency, and yes, like being in this openness of the heart and the feminine heart, and being in the sovereignty and being in the, I love the word fecundity of, the sovereign womb, and like becoming all of those things and staying open and not contracting into fear and not contracting into, like rejection and bitterness, which are some of my habits, especially related to the masculine. To stand up. And so as I have been, navigating this, not always beautifully, not always, we figure the things out and it's beautiful, but along the way it's quite soulful, rich material. It's quite, like we don't have a map. We don't have a map for these times around how to truly become sovereign and unified in the feminine and masculine energetic, and, in right exchange and relationship with one another. And so I've really been just with like my whole life right now for the last few years, but then the last few months I went really, really deep into this, and feeling my way through. And so as I am coming up and out of this I hope I'm coming up and out of this in, a more empowered state, there are things from the past, like ways that I got involved in previous decisions or exchanges that now need to be upgraded. And so it's interesting because, Facebook definitely had to go. That was true. I'm just really allowing the sun to do its thing. Thank you. And because every time I got on there, I didn't feel good. And it's like all about actually feeling good. Like you can feel good in your exchanges. You can like receive what you want to receive. And in the dominator model, it was like you're going to receive, what someone else determines you can receive, and you're going to receive like when someone else determines, and there's like nothing you can do about it. And so that really, I like had to peel another layer of that heartache around that this year in a deeper loss around family and a deeper loss around love and relationship that really taught me a lot. And it taught me a lot about like, the openness and the givingness. And these are subtle nuances, and I don't know if you can hear it. I'll try to get more specific here. We are beautiful feminine beings with a beautiful heart, and there is so much love inherently, on the planet and in the way things work. And oftentimes the way we open up as women puts us in a deficit situation. But what nature reminds us is that there is not a deficit situation. And so Kelly is, painting this transmission of the heartland, and she posted a video about birthing the cosmos. And I've been in this alchemical experience with this because I've been walking on a piece of land for the last few weeks that I did not, know about in the first year and a half of living in this town that I live in. And it is a full trail system in the woods, but it is on land that is owned by a church. And the trails are even named for men from the Bible. And so, my friend Amanda and I out here, two priestesses in real life, talking about the sovereign womb on these trails. And then yesterday I brought roses and, made an offering to the water of roses, and actually my blood, which I hardly ever do or ever talk about. And I didn't even know why I was doing it, but I was I've been, you may be following in other places on the podcast and things like that. But I've been reclaiming the sovereignty of the womb and the blood. And so it's like a very, very careful, topic. And I don't want us to just like go spreading our blood everywhere, women, because I think that, there are like interference energies around that. But I really felt to yesterday, and I felt to put it in the water specifically. And I just did a video on the water a couple weeks ago. And so the water is, helping to heal these grids, and, the prayers and the feminine essence and the crystalline essence and the water, like as we repair us, the earth repairs also, and vice versa. But we can do this also in tandem with the earth. And so, pairing your body and your frequency with the frequency of the earth is very important, and putting like your prayers in your body and in the earth body is very, very important work right now. And so I realized, like, okay, well, I know that I'm walking on this land of, church, and like the church has resources to also build this park and also, have these trails, which I appreciate the opportunity to come here. And then I'm getting this, intuitive ping to make offerings, right, to the land. And then as I'm out here, this is like the time that Kelly is also like painting this transmission of Heartland and the womb, and right receptivity is the point. Right receptivity is what I'm really contemplating, today and in this moment. And I also feel to speak these words here too, because there's something behind all of these kinds of transmissions, and there's so much pressure. Like when I don't do a lot of videos because I feel this pressure to like say a specific thing, and here I am at 12 minutes and I'm like, well, I'm not done yet, and there's something behind the words. And so just allow it to work through you, and allow it to like speak to your soul. But another very, very significant thing happened within the past like 48 hours, where I was given an apology from a man. The last man that I was in relationship with, I was given a deeper apology for his lack of integrity. Hi, son. And he also thanked me for my love. And I know that this is a very, very significant turning point in like even healing my lineage, and in Heartland, and also in the earthwork and the grid work. Okay, so we're reclaiming right receptivity, we're reclaiming right, let's say, acknowledgement, we're reclaiming the sovereign womb, we're reclaiming the earth grids from, you can hear the construction of like more church happening in the background and men's voices. And so we're reclaiming. And, there's this, like, look for the subtle energetics of, look at that. I just like went into like teacher mode a little bit, but I'll go back into like presencing with my own feminine. I feel like it's so significant that I received an apology in the exact like wording that I, would have hoped for. Like those things, like, I apologize for my lack of integrity and thank you for your love. And that is the apology that I have wanted, like from men, like from my father, from previous, really deep soulmate relationships. Like those were the words, right? And so it's like that is an imprint back through time and space and forward through time and space. Okay. And so I am in the process out here today of like allowing that to imprint and integrate, which is also why I have the sun on my face, imprint and integrate through my body and through the grids, through the earth grids, and through the pairing, right? So we are receiving a transmission of, recognition and receptivity at this time that my human mind can't quite grok, which is also why I talk in circles a little bit, but also my human body as a woman, and I could cry, like, doesn't quite know like what to do with this like whole new level of receptivity in the new earth, and receptivity, you know, in the new feminine, and like with the holy respect of the Christos. I'm pointing to the sun because it's like the light concentration. The light consciousness. The short concentration, the light consciousness, the light penetration, right? Which I have been in training to. I have been like in deep entrainment, and then yesterday morning the Christos was like, and here's your next assignment, and it was even deeper. And so it's like, you know, what I said to Kelly is like, what would the womb, the fertile, you know, sovereign womb be for, if not to receive? And the womb is a metaphor, right? Because there's this cosmic womb, there's the cosmic womb, there's the it's the feminine. It's like it's what's restoring in the earth grids. And so as this is clear, and as this is like uncontaminated, then, you know, we also must prepare for deep receptivity in a way that I would say we collectively have not been experiencing. And there is something about the Sacred Remembering podcast needing to stop at this time with 144 episodes. It will stop at solstice in 2022, and that will have been like a full 3 years of doing the podcast. But there's something that needs to stop about the use of energy. And because honestly, within my work, within what I have put into the world, there has been a like, I will give, but I don't expect to receive. And that is actually healed, and it stops now. But that also means that everything that was created within that energetic also has to stop now, so that everything that's coming new in the sovereign womb and in this fertility can now be reborn and rebirthed. And so I'm coming to you 17 minutes in now. Thank you for listening if you have. I'm coming to you like in this in-between point, in this void point, in this not knowing point. And I'm naming for you like the signs and the signals that are coming to me that tell me that this turning point is quite beautiful. It's quite profound. So I hope that I've transmitted what was intending to be transmitted here today, and I'm sending so much love. I'm going to go through a stick for my frustrated dog because I've been standing here for too long, and she is ready to play. So I'll let you take in a little bit more of this woods, and noticing, you know, the leaf litter and the soil, and imagining the richness of the soil. And just for a moment, if you would, we'll do a little collective grid work here. You know, if you hear the construction in the background, and the building of more buildings for this church, for this religion, you know, like if we can only make the buildings bigger and more people will come, and we can, you know, brainwash them, and this frequency will live on. And what I'm over here saying is actually there's a new frequency. There's a new frequency. And so if you would, you know, hear that beeping. So just holding that in your consciousness, and then also holding the earth in your consciousness, and welcoming the restoration of union in the grids, of the restoration of the feminine as it flows, you know, through the earth, like the water flows through the earth. Welcoming the restoration of the crystalline architecture that is here. And there's a bit, you know, there's a lot of like fight to win, at the domination game. Beep, 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 hammer, hammer, hammer. We're going to solidify it. No, we're not. Okay, because this is actually what is being birthed. Can you feel that? Okay, love you.